Have you ever stood at the crossroads between building your dreams or tearing them apart with your own hands? Every day, every hour, every second. You and I are wielding two of the most powerful forces on the planet, the power to create and the power to destroy. But here's the truth most people never realize. Both powers are always in your hands. The real question is, which one are you mastering? Stick with me, because today we're about to unlock a part of yourself you might have forgotten even existed. Let's dive deep. Step 1, creation and destruction begin in the mind. Everything you experience, everything you build, everything you tear down, it all starts in one place, your mind. Before any action is taken, before any word is spoken, before any habit is formed, a thought is born, a single thought. And in that thought lies the seed of either creation or destruction. The mind is the ultimate battlefield. It's where visions are crafted or where doubts are planted. When you hold an idea in your mind, a dream, a goal, a possibility, and you nurture it, feed it, focus your energy on it, you are creating. You're breathing life into something that does not yet exist. You're tapping into the part of yourself that can shape reality itself, bending the future toward the image you carry inside. But the same mind that can build miracles can just as easily tear them apart before they ever leave the ground. A single fearful thought left unchecked can become a belief. So that belief becomes a story becomes a pattern, and soon you are destroying possibilities without even realizing it. Every excuse, every moment of procrastination, every time you tell yourself, I can't or it's too late, that didn't come from the outside world, that came from within. That was destruction beginning quietly in your own mind, long before any external force had a chance to interfere. The mind is not passive, it is not neutral, it is always creating or destroying, moment by moment, thought by thought. When you believe in your ability to grow, to change, to overcome, you are in a state of mental creation, building strength, building courage, building momentum. When you indulge in self-doubt, blame, or fear, you are in a state of mental destruction, tearing at your own foundation, sabotaging your own path, often before you even take the first step. What you hold in your mind becomes the blueprint for your life. If you are not consciously designing it, you are unconsciously demolishing it. It doesn't take anger or hatred or some dramatic event to destroy. But most of the time, destruction starts with something much quieter: hesitation, comparison, worry, the tiny whisper that says, maybe I'm not enough. And every time you listen to that whisper instead of the voice of your vision, a part of your future gets chipped away. Creation and destruction are not massive explosions or overnight victories. They are the cumulative result of what you allow to live inside your mind every day. The thoughts you entertain, the emotions you feed, the beliefs you reinforce through repetition and attention. The mind is the first architect or the first arsonist. Step 2, your words shape reality. Words are not just sounds we throw into the air. They are the architects of our reality. Every word you speak carries energy, intention, and direction. When you open your mouth to describe your life, your challenges, your dreams, or your future, you are not just reporting what's happening, you are actively shaping it. Language is the bridge between what exists inside your mind and what manifests in the world around you. It's through words that ideas are given structure, that visions are communicated, that relationships are built, that movements are sparked. The way you talk about your circumstances defines how you experience them. When you say, I'm stuck, you are not simply describing a moment, you are reinforcing a prison. When you say, I'm going through this, even if you feel pain, you are unlocking the doors to a different future. Words are declarations. Every time you speak, you cast a vote for the future you believe in. the reality you are willing to create or destroy. Most people don't realize how casually they give their power away with their words. They speak limitations into existence. I'm terrible with money. They speak defeat into their spirit. No one ever listens to me. They speak fear into their decisions. I'm too old to start over. Every one of these statements becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, not because the world conspires against them, but because their words reshape how they think, how they act, and ultimately what they are willing to attempt. Language is the instruction manual you hand to your brain. It tells your mind what to focus on, what to amplify, what to believe. Speak scarcity, and you will train yourself to see only what you lack. Speak opportunity, and you will train yourself to see resources, pathways, and solutions where others see dead ends. The words you use consistently carve neural pathways in your brain. They literally rewire your thinking and condition your emotions. Over time, your language becomes your lens, the filter through which you interpret every event, every relationship, every challenge you face. Words also have the power to influence those around you. The language you use doesn't just impact your own reality. It ripples outward, affecting the emotional climate of your relationships, your teams, your families. A leader who speaks vision lifts an entire organization to new heights. A parent who speaks belief into a child plants seeds of confidence that can last a lifetime. And at the same time, a single careless word spoken in anger or fear can create wounds that take years to heal. Your words either build bridges or burn them. They either reinforce possibility or reinforce limitation. They either inspire action or invite resignation. At every moment, your mouth is a tool, and whether it constructs or destructs depends entirely on the consciousness behind it. To speak carelessly is to build your life carelessly. To speak deliberately, intentionally, and with purpose is to take an active role in molding the shape of your destiny. Step 3, decisions determine destiny. Every moment of your life is shaped by the decisions you make, whether you are conscious of it or not. Decisions are not just about big dramatic moments. They are happening constantly in the smallest, often overlooked instances. Each choice, no matter how minor it seems, sets a course. It builds momentum in one direction or another, pulling you either toward the life you desire or away from it. When you decide to wake up early or sleep in, to push yourself a little harder or to quit when it gets uncomfortable, to speak up or stay silent, you are steering the ship of your life. Destiny is not some random event that happens to a lucky few while the rest are left wandering. Destiny is the cumulative effect of decisions stacked one on top of the other until they become the foundation you stand on. It's not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. Your destiny is not written in the stars, it is written in the actions you take each day, the standards you set for yourself, the promises you keep or break, the risks you embrace or avoid. Most people underestimate the power of a single decision. They think transformation requires massive, overwhelming change. But real change begins with one simple decision. The decision to no longer tolerate less than you are capable of. The decision to demand more from yourself. The decision to commit to a path and not turn back when it gets hard. Every major breakthrough, every incredible life you admire traces back to a moment where someone decided, truly decided, that enough was enough, that they were going to raise their standards and never again settle for mediocrity. Decisions cut through hesitation, they burn the boats. They eliminate the option of retreat. A real decision means you act even when it's uncomfortable, even when fear screams at you to stay small. Without action, what people call decisions are really just preferences or wishes. A true decision is a commitment backed by behavior. It carries energy, it moves you. Indecision, on the other hand, is a silent killer. It slowly drains your energy, your confidence, and your belief in yourself. Every time you hesitate when you know what you should do, you teach your mind to associate action with fear instead of freedom. Over time, indecision becomes a habit, and that habit writes a destiny of regret, missed opportunities, and unrealized potential. The most successful, fulfilled, and impactful people are not those who never feel fear or doubt. They are those who have trained themselves to decide quickly, to trust their intuition, and to act with boldness. They understand that perfection is a myth and that waiting for the perfect moment is just another decision, a decision to stay stuck. They choose growth over comfort, progress over procrastination, vision over fear. Every time you decide to believe in your potential instead of your limitations, you alter the trajectory of your life. Every time you decide to act in spite of fear, you build the muscle of courage. Every time you decide to focus on solutions instead of problems, you step closer to becoming the person capable of living the life you dream about. Your destiny is not something hidden from you, waiting to be discovered. It is something you create moment by moment, decision by decision, through the standards you set, the risks you take, and the promises you keep to yourself. Step forward. The energy flows where attention goes. So whatever you consistently focus on expands in your life. Your attention is like a magnifying glass. Whatever you point it toward, you amplify. It doesn't matter whether that thing is positive or negative, empowering or disempowering. Your energy will follow your attention. And soon, your emotional state, your actions, and your outcomes will be shaped by what you are mentally feeding. If you focus on what's missing, you will experience lack. If you focus on what's possible, you will experience opportunity. The mind doesn't discriminate between what serves you and what sabotages you. It simply multiplies whatever you dwell upon. Attention is the currency of your mind. It's the investment you make every second of the day, whether you realize it or not. If you invest your attention into worries, fears, complaints, and resentments, you are funding a reality built on scarcity, struggle, and suffering. So if you invest your attention into gratitude, solutions, growth, and vision, you are funding a reality built on possibility, strength, and abundance. Your emotional life, your sense of possibility, even the opportunities you recognize, are all a direct reflection of where you habitually direct your focus. In every situation, there are always multiple realities you could experience, depending on where your attention goes. You can look at a challenge and see a curse, or you can look at the same challenge and see a catalyst for your next breakthrough. You can look at a relationship and focus on everything that's wrong, or you can focus on what can be healed, strengthened, and appreciated. The outer circumstances may remain the same, but your experience of them is entirely determined by your focus. The human brain is a powerful pattern recognition machine, and it is constantly looking to validate whatever you focus on. If you focus on problems, your brain will find more problems. If you focus on solutions, your brain will find pathways you couldn't see before. This is not just psychology. This particular activating system in your brain literally filters information based on what you deem important through your attention. It's like tuning a radio to a specific station. Suddenly, that frequency is all you hear, even though countless other stations are broadcasting around you. Most people move through life allowing their attention to be hijacked by whatever is loudest. The negativity of the news, the fears of others, the endless distractions screaming for their time, but those who master their attention master their destiny. They understand that attention is a precious, finite resource, and they guard it fiercely. They consciously choose to place their attention on what empowers them, what challenges them to grow, what expands their sense of possibility. Where your attention goes, your emotions follow. Where your emotions go, your decisions follow. Where your decisions go, your life follows. It's not a random process, it's a deliberate creation. If you consistently focus on your limitations, you will emotionally experience the weight of those limitations until they feel insurmountable. If you consistently focus on your strengths, your progress, your vision, you will emotionally experience momentum, confidence, and clarity, making it far easier to take bold action. Attention is the starting point of all personal transformation. Before habits are built, before skills are developed, before achievements are earned, there is focus. And what you focus on day after day compounds. Small moments of attention create large movements in your life over time. Not the big dramatic shifts that shape most destinies, but the daily choices about where you place your mental energy, the quiet yet powerful decision to align your focus with the life you want to create instead of the life you fear. Step 5, fear destroys, faith creates. Fear and faith are both powerful forces, but they pull your life in completely opposite directions. Fear shrinks your world, it gets you to play small, to avoid risks, to settle for less than you are capable of. It is the voice that whispers, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if you lose everything? Fear builds invisible walls around your potential, trapping you in a life far smaller than the one you were designed to live. It doesn't always show up as panic or terror. Often it's subtle. It's the hesitation before taking a chance. It's the constant second guessing that keeps you stuck in preparation instead of action. Fear is not just an emotion. It's a destructive force that undermines your confidence, erodes your courage, and sabotages your dreams before they have a chance to breathe. When you allow fear to dominate your mind, you start seeing threats where there are opportunities. You magnify every obstacle and minimize every resource. You become a master at predicting failure and a novice at recognizing potential. Fear hijacks your imagination and forces you to rehearse disaster over and over until paralysis sets in. It convinces you that the safest thing to do is to do nothing at all, to avoid stepping into the unknown, to cling to what's comfortable, even if it's killing your spirit. Fear doesn't just prevent you from reaching your goals, it conditions you to stop dreaming altogether. Faith, on the other hand, is the creative force of life. Faith expands your world. It gives you the courage to take the first step when you can't yet see the whole staircase. Faith is the belief that even if you fall, you will rise stronger. It's the conviction that challenges are not stop signs, but stepping stones. Faith taps into the creative power of possibility. It moves you to act, not because the path is guaranteed, but because the vision is worth the risk. It shifts your focus from what could go wrong to what could go right. It trains your mind to see opportunities where others see dead ends and to believe in solutions even when problems seem overwhelming. When you operate from faith, you unleash creativity, resilience, and perseverance. You give yourself permission to grow, to learn, to adapt. You are no longer controlled by the need for certainty. Instead, you are fueled by the possibility of transformation. Faith allows you to build when nothing seems to be working yet, to speak when your voice trembles, to try again when the world tells you to quit. It is the inner knowing that the seeds you plant today will bloom, even if the storms rage around you in the meantime. Fear destroys trust. Trust in yourself, trust in others, trust in the future. It poisons relationships, ambition, and self-worth. It isolates you, convincing you that you are powerless and alone. It turns setbacks into permanent defeats and makes discomfort feel like danger. Faith, in contrast, builds trust. It strengthens your relationship with yourself, deepens your connection with others, and fosters a sense of purpose that can weather any storm. Faith doesn't eliminate fear entirely, but it makes fear irrelevant. It gives you something stronger to lean on, a vision greater than your doubts, a reason greater than your excuses, a future more compelling than your past. Fear and faith both require belief in something unseen. Fear believes in the worst possible outcome. Faith believes in the best possible future. Both are predictions. Both are leaps of imagination. The question is not whether you are a believer, you already are. The real question is, what are you choosing to believe in? Fear demands that you hand over your dreams in exchange for temporary comfort. Faith demands that you stretch, that you grow, that you trust in your ability to meet whatever comes with strength and creativity. Fear will chain you to your past. Faith will unleash you into your future. Fear kills potential before it has a chance to grow. Faith nourishes potential into greatness. Fear silences your voice. Faith empowers your message. Fear destroys possibilities while they are still fragile. Faith protects possibilities until they are strong enough to stand on their own. Step 6, responsibility is your ultimate power. Responsibility is not a burden, it is the gateway to power. Yep, it is the recognition that you are the author of your own life, not merely a character reacting to a script written by circumstances, other people, or luck. Responsibility means owning every aspect of your experience, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and your results. It means refusing to blame, refusing to point fingers, refusing to wait for someone else to change before you take charge of your future. Responsibility puts the pen back in your hand. It gives you control over the story you're writing each day through your choices. When you embrace full responsibility, you stop being a victim of your environment. You stop seeing yourself as at the mercy of external forces. You realize that while you cannot control everything that happens to you, you have absolute control over how you interpret it, what you learn from it, and what you do next. Responsibility transforms obstacles into opportunities. It turns failures into feedback. It takes what could have been excuses and reshapes them into fuel for growth. Most people misunderstand responsibility. They think it means blaming themselves, carrying guilt, or feeling shame for their past. But true responsibility is not about self-punishment, it is about self-empowerment. It is the understanding that if you created patterns that don't serve you, you also have the power to create new ones that do. If you made decisions that led to pain, you have the power to make decisions that lead to healing. Responsibility is not about dwelling on where you fell short, but it is about stepping into the power to rise higher. When you take responsibility, you claim the right to change. You claim the right to set new standards for yourself. You stop waiting for perfect circumstances and start creating better ones. You stop hoping for someone to come rescue you and realize you are your own rescue team. Responsibility gives you the ability to respond, to adapt, to pivot, to overcome. Without it, you are powerless, forever stuck waiting for things to get better. With it, you become the force that makes things better. There is no lasting success without responsibility. Talent without responsibility is wasted potential. Dreams without responsibility are fantasies. Relationships without responsibility collapse under the weight of unmet expectations. Responsibility is what turns vision into reality. It is what transforms good intentions into consistent action. It is what allows you to build a life that is not dictated by fear or excuses or the opinions of others, but by your own conscious choice. Responsibility means understanding that your mindset is your choice, your emotional state is your choice, your level of effort is your choice. It means recognizing that everything you want in life is within your reach if you are willing to own the process of getting there. It demands that you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what am I going to do about it? It demands that you trade complaining for commitment, blame for belief, procrastination for power. You know, it's easy to look around and find reasons why success is harder for you, why you are justified in holding back, why someone else should change first. But every second you spend in that mindset is a second you give away your power. Responsibility pulls you out of that trap. It reminds you that the only thing you truly control is yourself, and that is more than enough. It reminds you that life does not happen to you, it happens through you by the energy, focus, and choices you bring into each moment. Responsibility makes you unstoppable because it removes all your excuses. It brings you face to face with your own greatness and demands that you live up to it. It challenges you to lead your life instead of reacting to it. It gives you ownership over your destiny, making you the architect of your dreams rather than the prisoner of your circumstances. At the end of the day, the greatest truth you must face is this: you hold the power to create and the power to destroy. It all begins in your mind, with the thoughts you entertain, the words you speak, the decisions you make, and the focus you choose. Fear can tear down everything you build in a moment, but faith can create a future beyond your wildest imagination. Every time you take responsibility for your life, you reclaim the ultimate power to shape your destiny, to turn obstacles into opportunities, to build instead of break, to rise instead of retreat. You are not a prisoner of your past or a puppet of your circumstances. You are a creator. You are a force. You are the one who decides what your life becomes. The only real question left is, what will you choose to build with the power that's already in your hands?